Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing? So good morning, Chief and Willow. Thank you for stopping in, and I hope you have a good day. Hi, Blue and Cindy. I think that's all that's here so far. Oh, I hope your doctor's appointment goes good. And thank you for stopping in. So, they're doing the closing. They already did the closing arguments for this case this morning. Yes, let us know how it goes. Hopefully everything's good. I'm sure it will be, though. Yeah, and you have a great day too, so thank you. But let's go ahead and see, though. They're doing their jury instructions right now, giving the jurors instructions on how to go ahead and do the case. You're welcome, and love to you too. You have a good one. But they're doing the closing argument, or they already did the closing arguments. Now they're doing the jurors' instructions. So they're telling them, how to go ahead and find their answer as far as guilty, not guilty. So Mollie Tibbetts, oh shit, sorry. Everything just fell on the floor. Okay. Pens. All right. So Mollie Tibbetts was 20 years old. Christian Bahena Rivera is, I believe, how you kind of pronounce it. Oh, yeah, I saw you said that, Blue. I'll have to talk to you about it whenever we're done. Christian Bahena Rivera, who was 26 when this happened too. It was in Iowa, 2018 in July. So they found her body in a cornfield. So that's where they found her body. She had no clothing from the waist down, and she was positioned as if, something like that were to kind of happen. She was taken advantage of, and she was left there. So she was supposed to be stabbed and left in the cornfield. And he had actually admitted, from what I understand, he completely confessed in the beginning when he first got questioned. So now he's saying, like he was coerced into the confession, and like two other guys like popped up or something. And like, I don't know if he said they left her body there. I'd have to go back and rewatch some of the trial. But I'm pretty sure he said like two guys are the ones that left the body with him. And so, or in his trunk, because there was her blood in her body was in his trunk. He admitted that. He actually admitted taking her out of the trunk and placing her in the cornfield. When they asked her, how did her body feel when you picked her body up? He said that it was heavy, very heavy. So again, he's admitting to moving her body, that it was in his car. And apparently, again, there's these two guys that he said that was in on it they're the ones that actually killed her. But obviously, he confessed. So, I mean, gut-wise, I'm going with he's guilty. But we're going to go ahead and kind of get a reading into it and see what we can get. Blue. Let's see. So we're going to be using the Gilded Tarot Royale to kind of lay down the baseboard. I've been pulled to this one again lately. And if y'all have any questions about the case, y'all can ask it. Like I said, I've kind of just been watching here and there, like clips of the trial. So we'll kind of go ahead and see what we get. So we're going to ask for her spirit guides to come in with my spirit guides as well as his, so we can get some answers as to what happened. So we're going to call on our spirit guides, archangels, ancestors, guardians of the galaxies, and source. So I'm going to mix these really good. So how's everybody's morning so far? I know some people are in pain, so I'm sorry to hear about that. Texas weather for the people in Texas is gross right now. All right. So we're going to shuffle again. All right, so again, we're going to ask for Mollie's spirit guides to come in with mine, and as well as Christian's. So I'm going to get back to the page of the split. All right, I have so much in this book. We'll find it later. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we can get from them about what's happened. So we're going to ask for Mollie to come in again and kind of give us some information towards the case, what happened. That's all right. I think it's just the internet. Mine's halfway down right now. So if it cuts out, then we'll try to see what we can do. But yeah, it just seems to be buffering all the time. I noticed in a lot of the private readings I did, it was buffering, and it wasn't looking like that during it. So she has the Six of Cups in the recent past. So I do know that's kind of like that childlike energy or reminiscing on things in the past. From what I understand, one of the guys that he could apparently kind of like pointed the finger to out of the two was supposed to kind of know her, but they looked at that avenue and I don't think they found anything there. So that's why they didn't really go with it. And then with the Six of Cups, we kind of want to see, as far as, the trial, anything that she wants to come out, present energy. What is the present energy trumping right now over the trial? And is there anything you'd like us to know? The world. So the world is going to stop with this. So I do feel like he is going to be found guilty. I really don't see why he wouldn't be. He did admit to it. He admitted to killing her and putting her in the cornfield. And then he changed it later, once he got his attorneys and things like that. And they were like, that was a stupid thing to say, So he changed his story, blamed it on two other people, said they left a body in the trunk and they just took off. So I don't know how they were able to get into his trunk, leave a body and just take off. If they were just walking with the body. I mean, he really didn't clarify any of that. So that's what I'm saying. It didn't really make sense. With the Four of Swords and current energy, it's like a resting period is going to come in. So like I said, I do think he will be charged. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I'd be really surprised if it was like, I don't think it will be acquitted either. So it does show that resting energy coming up in the future. So we'll kind of see with the Six of Cups. What would you like us to know about the Six of Cups in the situation that has to do with you in the murder case, Mollie? So she has the Hierophant in reverse. So the Hierophant in reverse is going to be not approving of the situation and what happened. So with that, I would just say, yeah, she's kind of validating that this was not something that should have happened. It was not okay in the eyes of the Lord or source or whoever it is that you believe in that way. So with the World in reverse, it stopped her world. It's going to stop his. I feel like I said, I don't feel like he's going to get off. Like I said, I don't see how he could. Not after admitting to it. He says he lifted her body. He knows that she was stabbed. Yeah, so it's like fire energy a bit, the Fool in reverse. So it's like, it kind of feels like this is her brand new energy of where she kind of got pushed into the next place. It's because it's a brand new start, but it's not always like you want it. And I feel like it's a bit carrying his energy too, because it was an impulsive thing for him to do. It stopped her world and it's going to stop his. So with the Four of Swords, let's see with the Four of Swords, what would you like us to know about the Four of Swords, how the case is going to go and anything in the future relating to your case? Strength. Hey, Ren, how are you? So we have strength coming up. So that's going to be underneath the Four of Swords. So underneath the Four of Swords, you have strength coming out. So to me, that's just kind of representing a taming of something. So in kind of building strength, I feel like it's more her strength and it's kind of taming what's been done. So it's kind of building her strength after he's been kind of put to rest in the situation. So with the Six of Cups and the Hierophant, let's go ahead and see why those are there. Because she still was young. She was only 20. Hey, Sunflower, how are you? Yeah, so she shows like the Page of Wands, and that's what he did. He said that he saw her, I want to say he saw her running. So that's the other thing. He admitted to turning around and following her. So that's what I'm saying. There's so much. The only thing that gaps into it is like, oh, well, these two guys just showed up with her. You admitted to following her. You admitted to talking to her. or trying to talk to her. And then all of a sudden it's like he shoots to the cornfield with these two guys. And it's like, there are no two guys. I don't feel that. So it does say, with the Page of Wands, he did make that movement towards her. It's fire energy. It's and over here you have it. It was movement towards her, but it was an immature, rocky movement. I said, this, you fall off the cliff. So we're going to go ahead and clarify those with the World in reverse and the Fool in reverse. What else would you like us to know about what happened, about your murder itself? What else would you like us to know about your murder? Okay, so it was like a brand new start for her life, a different way for it to go. Like you could have, she had these two options. She could have done this, not done this. But what he did put her into reverse as emotional wise. Like I said, so of course, whenever she passed, it took her a while, I'm sure, because the way she passed, kind of realize what was happening and transition on. So with Strength upright and Four of Swords in the future, let's go ahead and see what that means pertaining to his, conviction or anything like that. Hey, Lady Grace. How are you doing? All right, so the Two of Pentacles is in reverse. So a decision will be made out of two things. Again, we'll kind of go ahead and clarify it now, see what those things will be. But so far, it is kind of looking like, yeah, it is him. It doesn't feel like there's going to be any winning on his part. The Nine of Cups is in reverse, so that's kind of losing that energy. So I do think he'll be convicted just because his story doesn't match up. It doesn't make sense. He said he followed her. He said that he thought she was attractive. Then he admitted to it. He said that he dropped her off in the cornfield. They said she was found with no clothes from the waist down, in a suggested position to where it looked like something like that happened. And then he said that she was in the trunk of his car and that he got her out of the trunk of his car and put her in the cornfield. But the only thing now is after he, talked to a lawyer, now there's two other people that he's claiming, but nobody has been able to verify that. So they actually didn't even release their names that I can think of, that I was able to find. They might have released it at some point during the court trial, but the ones that I saw, they never said their names. They just said two other males. But they couldn't confirm that, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and clarify, though. Was there anything that she'd like us to know about before her murder? I almost feel like he saw her running before that. Like it wasn't just that day. Like maybe he had watched her before. With the Six of Cups, you have the Six of Cups here. So, I think for the most part, you did have a happy childhood, and that's something you think about. I'm 20 years old. So let's go ahead and see. With the Six of Cups, what would you like us to know about the Six of Cups before your murder? The Queen of Cups. So she's up right here before it. So she is saying she was very emotionally fulfilled through her life. So she's, that's something she is wanting to make a statement of. That could be towards, so anybody that's wanting to know that. It could be family members she's reaching out to let them know she did have a happy life while she was here. Unfortunately, the Hierophant was in reverse with this situation, so he's not approving of it. But it's almost like it's that thing where it would have happened. It was almost like not avoidable for some reason. I said, again, I do think he was watching her. I don't think that was the first time he saw her. Yeah, so it's like the Nine of Cups energy is there too. So yeah, she was I'm pretty sure she was single. I'm not sure. I know that they say they did talk to other boyfriends. But either way, it's like she was kind of getting into that energy though. She was stepping into her 20s. Hey, Bella, how are you? And she was stepping into her 20s. So she was just kind of starting that independent, taking care of herself energy. So she is saying, yes, she was very upright. She was in the Queen of Cups. She had the Nine of Pentacles. She was very well taken care of. I want to say she was going to school. So she was well balanced in the earthly realm and with her emotions and everything else that was going on. So she was emotionally fulfilled and material, in the material realm fulfilled. So with the Page of Wands, though, it does show that movement. She was running that day. And that's where he, found her. He did say that he was watching her run. So that's what I said. I do think he watched her before. So let's go ahead and see what the Page of Wands. Yeah, the Chariot. And he picked her up in the car, and that's where her body was in the trunk. So this would, to me, kind of represent that car energy. It's going to be moving like that with a car. It's usually being pulled. On this one, it's not so much. But again, on the older decks, as you can see, like the Chariot is being pulled forth. So it is saying that he kind of came in with this fire energy and with his car and kind of took her where he did, and the world stopped. So let's kind of see with the world. So it's like there's 4 swords on both sides. So I think she's like, and she was stabbed. So I think this is kind of, and on this one, it's a girl. Or I think on this one, it's a guy. So it's almost like, again, she's going to flip this energy back on him, because this is in the future when we asked about his conviction. So he's going to be put down with the 4 of swords. So he's going to have to go into resting. That's also legal energy. So, but she's saying he put me into that state and stopped my world. And you do see that, like I said, with the knives or the daggers, swords above, that, you know, they are going to come down on her. So, and she actually has, it looks like kind of blood on her lips, but it's also the color of her lipstick. So again, I think she's reversing that energy on him whenever he does go forth. So we'll see. With the Fool in reverse, why is the Fool in reverse for the date of your murder and what happened? What else would you like us to know about the Fool in reverse? The Tower. So yeah, he was the Fool. He was the Page of Wands, and then the Fool is fire energy, still Aries, and so is the Page of Wands, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So it is saying that with the Tower, that is when, you know, again, he put her into resting with the 4 of swords. She did get stabbed, and with the Tower, it is saying that's when her tower collapsed. So, and that's because he came in the foolish energy. So she had to kind of have a restart to her life and kind of do something different. She didn't want to, but you know, with everything that happened, she had to. So with the 4 of swords in the near future, I feel like it's going to be him going into resting. So again, it's going to be I was like, you're going live. What? So yeah. So the Emperor is like even more stern. So it's like, I don't feel like he's going to get away with this. Again, this is fire energy. So it's like even flipping it back harder. Like he came in at the Page of Wands. I'm pretty sure he's in his he's 27. So that's going to be someone in their 20s or 30s. They're very immature, you know, do things very impulsively, and they can be very aggressive when they're, you know, over here he's upright, but that's just how he came in, you know, because you watch him in court and he just sits there. He looks very like he doesn't know what's going on. I don't believe that. I think he knows what's going on. So with the 4 of swords, uppers, you know, or just in general, but lost my connection. Okay, we're back. So yeah, the Emperor is going to kind of go ahead and kind of represent that heavy, what is it? I'm trying to think of. It's like that law energy, rules, not being able to get away with crap. You know what I mean? So it's like his number is up. You know what I mean? They've got his number is all I can think of, you know? So with the strength card here, you do have strength here. What are you going to show us about that? So yeah, it's like she's saying like a little bit of strength will be built on her side once this happens, because the King of Swords steps in. So again, this is law. This is kind of, you know, rules, abiding by those rules, planning, scheduling. Like in jail, you're going to have to, you go to breakfast, you go to lunch, you go to dinner, you go to bed. You know what I mean? So you're basically told what you can do. So that is going to be the King of Swords energy. So, and you have a lot of swords. So I'm going to relate those to this case in the legal matters, because it is a legal case. It is a murder case. So with the 2 of Pentacles, something is chosen. So we'll kind of go ahead and see what those 2 of Pentacles energy is. Yeah, I feel like my brain's barely working still, to be honest. Yeah, so the 2 of Pentacles, I don't know if the death penalty is on the table or not here, or if this is something that maybe ends up happening to him there, because the 2 of Pentacles is in reverse with death in reverse. So that's the closing of the cycle for him. So, and this is his energy, not hers. So, I feel like if they don't have it, I'd have to look and see. I don't think it's I know it's 1st degree murder, but I don't know if they have a death penalty there or not. I'd have to look that up. But either way, I mean, that could be him deciding to kind of go and do his own thing and take his own life, or it could be somebody else deciding to. And kind of elaborate on that. Why is a death card here? That is Six of Cups energy. Okay. So with the death card in reverse, why is the death card in reverse here for the future, for how he ends up and what happens? Who's going to bring the death cycle in and why? Yeah, so it's like the Two of Pentacles is out again. So it's going to be like a High Priestess energy. So it's almost like she's sending that energy in to make something happen with the Devil. So regardless of whatever happens, there's some serious negative energy still going to be happening when he gets where he's going. So he's always going to have that Devil energy attached, and it's attached to the death cycle. So it's almost like he's going to have a choice to stay or go, like where he is. I said, I don't know if he'll take his own life. We'll kind of have to go more into that. I feel like that might be something he could do because it feels cowardly. He kind of feels cowardly. Let's see. I'll wipe this board clean. Oops. Do you? Better watch out then. Don't step on Sunflower's toes. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Go for it. I want to know. Do it right now. Do it. No, I'm just kidding. So with the dark mirrors, we're going to go ahead and see what else. Bella's got someone for you. She said that quick. Who, Bella? I'll get him. I'm sorry you're so sore, Blue. Hopefully they can get something taken care of over the phone for you. So let's go ahead and see with the dark mirrors, the energy that's around it. Parasite. So that's what I'm saying. I think he is a parasite. I think he's, I don't know. I don't know if he's done this before, but I think he's watched girls. I think he's done that before, watched them run. He's might have even sexually assaulted people before. I don't feel like this is the first time. If he was sitting there watching her run and admitted to following her because he thought she was pretty, I mean, that right there is kind of like, you're guilty. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying everything you do. So, I mean, I just don't think that was the first girl he ever followed. I don't think that was the first girl he tried to take advantage of. Now, I don't know if it was I don't know if he intended to kill her. I kind of feel like he probably didn't intend to kill her. But maybe she said or did something or moved a certain way where he just panicked and did it. Scratch at it. Calling the storm. So that's what I'm saying. It feels like it's just starting for him. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the spread out where it's in the future, he's got the Devil. He's got the death cycle coming up. He's going into resting. He's got the Emperor in reverse. It's kind of like all those things are going to pile up on him, and I think he's not going to be able to take it. So it's like calling in the storm. So it's like if he thinks that it's bad now, it's kind of like she's like, it ain't even begun, you know? Yeah, right? They have a trolling coven too, so we don't need to be one of those either. Southern style, yeah. Bless your heart. Bless your little heart. Or someone being like, oh, that's so sweet. They said that, and they're like, that's not a compliment. Hey, Diana. Yeah, it's like the internet's kind of buffering and going slow. So, if it drops out and comes back. Yeah, nice, nasty, nice. That's what it is. So let's see if there's any other cards she'd like to give out for his energy. Angry and chains. So that's what I'm saying, angry and chains. So that's what I'm saying. I think he will be locked up and chained. So I think his anger is gonna build. So if it doesn't end up being that someone else there is gonna take him out, I feel like he'll take himself out, to be honest. I think he's a wimp like that. Like I said, he varies I don't know. He tries to play, like I said, like he's calm and he doesn't really understand what's going on around him. But again, I think it's crap. So this is Mollie Tibbetts' case. They're actually deliberating it right now. So the jury went to deliberation. They did their final presentations, statements a little bit ago. So, and actually he took the trial or took the stand in the trial, which most people don't. So it is on court TV. I think it was in Iowa it happened. So if you go to the Iowa television channels, you can actually see, like yesterday, he took the stand. He didn't say too much other than, what his lawyers told him to say. But I was saying, Diana, this was in 2018, I believe in Iowa. She was 20. He's 27, I believe. I said the page flipped. If he was not 27, it's 26, but I'm pretty sure he was 27. She was stabbed to death. She was left in a cornfield and she was left in a suggestive position. She had no undergarments on or any garments on from the waist down. And she was left kind of in that position. And he did admit that she was in the trunk of his car and that he admitted to following her and while she was running and followed her in his car. And that he eventually, I don't know, he stops the story there and it's almost like he acts like that's where it ended. And then all of a sudden 2 guys showed up with her body and put him in the trunk and then they were supposed to dispose of it, but they didn't. So he had to. That's exactly kind of how he gave the story. And it's like, that don't make any freaking sense. You know what I mean? You were following her while she was running. You admitted to that. You had followed her while she ran. He even said he turned the car around to keep following her. So we're going to use the Spellcaster's tarot or oracle to see if there's any keywords she can give out. So this is like home. So I think this is just saying, she misses home and she would like to be back at home, but she's kind of creating a new home where she is. Because that is kind of missing that home energy, like when you want to go home and it feels warm, like cozy, like the cottage look. So we're going to see if there's any other energy that she'd like to send out. We're going to do the other one that you suggested, Diana. I'm going to try to get it in this week. If we don't do that case this week, we'll do it next week because I do want to do that case too because that's the second or third time I think someone's brought that case up to me. So when I hear about it, usually more than once is when I'm like, okay. So let me go ahead and see. Is there anything else you would like us to know about what happened? Any keywords, how you feel, what you would like people to know? She has beauty. So, it was kind of came out sideways. So it's like, I think she feels he kind of stole that from her because she was in her youth. She was just starting her life. She was only 20. So again, I think she is beautiful. Everybody is. And I think that she felt that way, very much here. But again, I think it's something that he took from her because that's what it feels like. It's like I was young and I was growing and I was thriving and you stopped that. But she is saying good luck. So there is good luck on her side with this now. So she does want people to know that it will go, I think, the way it needs to go. And I do think he did it for sure. I don't think any 2 random guys popped up and dropped her body in the trunk and he just didn't know what to do with it. Like, no, like you did it. Like I said, you admitted to carrying her and following her and all that stuff like that. It's just conveniently when she died, he happens to not be there in the story anymore. And he said that he was like coerced into the confession that he gave originally, where he admitted he did it. So let's kind of go ahead and see with the Kipper card if there's any keywords again that she can give out about the situation. So journey. So again, she was running and he was moving. He was driving the car. Like the chariot came out whenever he said he was following her in the car. So you have journey. So she was running and he did take her and place her somewhere else. So that kind of validates that was happening for me. Change. So it changed her direction. And as you see, their car is showing up again. So she is using those symbols as that's what was kind of going on. So is there anything else that you would like us to know about him changing the direction of your journey? Okay, she's saying the main female. So it's almost like it's in reverse. So I feel like right now she's looking at herself as I'm the main female in the situation. There was 2 people involved. That's all that I feel was involved. I don't feel like there was anybody else involved, like he's claiming. And the main female is in reverse. So it's kind of like he did this stuff and it took me out of this realm. You know what I mean? It took me away. So in her, life, she is the main person. So when he took that, it X'd out that life. Your Capricorn creativity. So let's go ahead. With the main female in reverse. Yeah, see, she's saying house again. So I think, again, this is just her wanting to go to the house energy, or maybe he took her to his house. I'm not really sure. I don't know where he lived in the area. I don't feel like he took her inside anywhere, but she is giving out house. So there might be some type of clues, again, that goes to 2. So let's see if there's one more card that you can show us. Thief. So it's like he stole her life and he stole everything that she had going on, and he's a liar. So thieves usually lie. They're not going to tell you what they did. So with that energy, I think, again, she's just kind of validating, like, again, with the home and thief, it kind of turned her home upside down because he is a thieving energy. He stole her life. And nobody has the right to do that to anybody else's. And so we're going to kind of use the angel answers. No need to worry. So again, I do this as hard as again validating. He will be charged. He's not going to get away with it. So there's no need to worry. She did say good luck was on their side. So I think that is, again, speaking to her family. Home was upright the first time and it's in reverse the second time. So to me, if it's not pertaining to something that he did with the home area, then it's just her basically saying she would like to go home, but she can't. Her house was turned upside down. It feels more like the house was turned upside down because of the cheating energy, or the him taking her life. Yeah. So what else would you like people to know with the angel answers concerning your case, or just anything that you would like people to know in general as a collective? If you have any messages for everybody, I want to thank you, Mollie, for coming in with your spirit guides. I greatly appreciate it. And she said it's up to you. So this is kind of where it's going to come in. I feel like this is more of the jury, like pointing to the jury. It's up to them. So it's like, and I do think they are going to find him guilty again. I don't see him getting off with this. I don't even feel like it'd be a hung jury. I feel like it would just go straight to it. And then there's let go. So I feel like she's saying it's going to happen. And then once it does, you can kind of let go of that energy, because he will be where he needs to be. So, and then her energy is taking care of where it is, even though, being with the way she's passed, stuff like that, you're always guided and taken care of, so she is saying it's okay to let go of certain energies and things that happen, because where she is, she's being taken care of very well now. And that, he will be handled the way he needs to be handled also. So I do have some other cards out, but do y'all have any questions so far? Y'all are funny. Has anybody watched this case, really? I had a couple of requests for it, so that's why I went ahead and did it. Now, I know it is in trial. Like I said, they are actually deliberating it out right now. But again, I just don't think he's going to be acquitted. Will he be found guilty? So yeah, I get he'll be found guilty. Now, I don't know, as a first-degree murder, I don't think they have the death penalty there, or they're just, I don't know if they're seeking it or not. I just know that they're looking to charge with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, all of those things. Yeah, right. I respect nasty nice a lot more than I just respect just being nasty. Because then you can be nasty nice back. Otherwise, you're just telling them off. Let's see. And then we have some other. Oh, and Diana was in here, but I don't remember the name. I have to get it off the. A lot of them back here. I'm trying to find the page that it flipped from. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he was 26. I'm not 27. But either way, page energy, 20 to 30. No. Is it the Emperor Sunflower? Sounds like something the Emperor would do. Yeah. Knew it. I would say more about it, but I'll let you know later. All I gotta say is no thank you. I'll stick to doing my own. So, is there any other cases y'all are interested in, though? And then we'll do a members' questions, too, this week coming up. So, I'm going to try to stick with the members' live questions for, like, the first week. Yeah, I'll tell you, Blue. You know who it is. That's all right, Bella. And thank you for joining us. Glad you could make it. So again, this was a requested case, and they are kind of deliberating it out. So again, I don't feel like it's going to take a super long time for deliberation either. Like I said, the dude basically admitted he did it until he got a lawyer, and they were like, don't say that. That's stupid. And it's like, well, he already did. That's stupid. He's that stupid. He already did. And they try to retract his confession. I don't think that's going to work, though. Yeah. Girl, please. I'm like, but oh no, he's in there. I thought my cat was in my altar room. But if y'all have any questions now, we can do that too for the members who are in here, since it is a members only. If y'all have any questions, because I still have about like 30 minutes. Yeah, the nerve of her. How dare she? But you're charging like a shitload for spell work too, huh? Doesn't even cost that much. Yeah. And what's that consist of? Me just telling you I'm going to do it? You know? I don't know. But good for them, I guess. That's crazy. Everybody is Bella. Hurry the process. Well, if y'all want to do like a read, like I said, anybody who has a question, y'all can go ahead and ask it. If there's anything like, if Bella, if you want to know why you're so in your feels, we can do that. But it's the moon. Mercury retrograde. I mean, well, the moon passed yesterday. So about like yesterday morning, I woke up and I was like, yeah, like I have energy finally. But Mercury retrograde has everything twisted. You know, that's why internet sucks. And I keep saying wrong words here and there and shit. I'm ruled by Mercury and pretty much everywhere. Yeah, that's the one that you mentioned, I think, Diana. And I'm going to do his case soon because you were the third person to mention him. So, like I said, once I get it mentioned enough, then I'm like, okay, then there's a reason. So, and again, I mean, I'm more pulled to those kind of cases anyway. So I'm going to write it down now while we're talking about it. Yeah, I watched it just because it was interesting. You know, I mean, you look at it and he's very, well, again, I mean, he's kind of playing the I don't understand. And maybe he doesn't speak English. I don't freaking know. But the thing is, like, I don't think that he doesn't understand as much as he's playing like he don't understand. So that's the only thing about that. But I mean, the trial wasn't that long. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he, like I said, again, he confessed originally. Then when he, got charged, they got a lawyer there. They changed the story, said he was like, pushed into saying that he did the whole thing. And then he had just admitted to basically watching her run, turning the car around and following her. And then it kind of acts like it stops there. And then two other people somehow get in the middle of it. And then, that's the ones that he's saying actually killed her and left her body in the trunk. And then he acted like they were supposed to come back or take care of it or something like that. And he said that they didn't. So that's when he took her body to the cornfield. He did have blood in the trunk of his car. He admitted to picking her up out of the trunk. And he even said her body was very heavy. He went and placed her in the cornfield again, how they found her. I did mention that a little bit. You can also, if you're interested in watching the trial, it's not a very long trial. So that's something you can kind of go ahead and watch. They have, just summed up clips of it. And then you can also see where he's sitting on the stand and he actually, sits on the stand, where most people don't when you're being convicted of or being charged with murder or, and you're on trial for it. So you usually don't see people go on the stand and kind of defend themselves. But again, he's up there kind of with, someone's translating. So it's kind of like, it's not as, you're not getting an emotional feedback from him very much because there's that interpreter there. So it's kind of hard because his energy is very like that. As I say, he doesn't have very much emotion during it. Oh, we're on a members only, y'all. I don't think anybody would, unless they decide to sign up and then pop in, but anyway. I know that you hate that when you have signs and you're like, dang, I ignored those. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions that I can think of really for her case. Do y'all have any cases y'all are interested in besides Diana's? Because I will be doing that case, Diana, for sure. And then if y'all have anyone y'all are interested in, just let me know. Two. Connor. Oh, Drew. Yeah. I was gonna say that, or is it Scott Peterson? Oh, you still want Drew Peterson? I kind of want to do Scott Peterson again. Are y'all interested in because he's supposed to be being retried with new evidence and stuff, and that's about a bitch, don't you think? I mean, he's been sitting there for how long, and now they're saying they're supposed to introduce all this new evidence that's supposed to like get him off death row or something like that. But yeah, we can do Drew Peterson because that was one we did talk about. But I just thought it was interesting that Scott Peterson is gonna. Yeah, I was like, Scott Peterson. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, he has been there for way too long to even revisit that. They should have just told him no. Carol basket case from Tiger King. Yeah, I have a whole playlist, Ren, of that. If you can't find it, let me know and I'll message it to you. But or I can message it to you either way if you'd like. I think I have your message. We've already messaged on Instagram, so I can message it there, or I can message it to you in the shop, because I think you can go ahead and click the shop link. I'm not sure if you can on Instagram, but yeah, I have a whole playlist for the Tiger King. But I think it's like 3 or 4 videos. I'm pretty sure it's only 3 or 4. I kind of did a reading on each one of the main characters. Well, characters, yeah, because they're characters. That's what at first when we started watching it, I didn't know if it was real. That's when I was like, everybody was watching it, and then I started trying to watch it, and I couldn't get into it. I was like, is this for real or is this a joke? You know? And then they're like, no, that's really them. And I was like, oh, I got all these messed up haircuts, and they're all talking stupid and battling each other over Tiger King. Who's Tiger King? But yeah, it was real. So that's when I went ahead and started reading it, because I was just like, damn, these people are crazy. So Scott Peterson, Drew Peterson, and then we got Cash. Yeah, I want to see how that trial is going to go. We're in it right now. We're doing the live right now, but if I can do one later, I was going to do one later, just because we haven't done any in a while. But it's just going to depend. Pee in a bucket. Yeah, he was crazy, that dude. And then even how when that employee got, because I think her arm got ripped off, I want to say, like off. I don't know. All I know is all he cared about was like, we're not going to make any money. I'm going to, and it was just like, he didn't even give a crap that her arm was gone. So it was just like, are you kidding? Like, that was crazy to me. He had no qualms about being like, I don't care. It's just my business it's going to affect. He didn't even care about her arm. Goodbye, Raina. And if you're still here, Ren, listen, we'll come back next week again and do the dream analysis. So again, I'll look up that little prayer though for you to help you bring in your dreams and stuff so you can remember them. But y'all have a good rest of the day. I will talk to y'all soon. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I did the members only. I mean, they're on parade right now, and it's Mercury retrograde, and shit's floating back up, so I ain't worried about none of that right now. But yes, y'all have a good one, and I will talk to you soon, and then I will give y'all a call in a little bit, Blue and Raina too, and then I will message you that whenever I find it, Ren. But see you later. Y'all take care, and blessed be to each and every one of you. Bye.